Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and today is Wake Up Wednesday. So, wake up, join me. I am so cricket. Let's get the day started and really talk about what we mean by Wake Up Wednesday. When I say wake up, I don't mean just the physical waking up and getting out of bed and getting your day started. We know we all have to do that. But what I mean is to really tap in and to be intentional about your day and about your focus and about where you spend your time and your energy, your precious resources. What are you going to do with your day? Don't just get out of bed, go through your morning routine, one foot in front of the other, and kind of take the day as it comes. I'm asking you to take a step back and to actually do a little bit of planning. And it's something that you can do really quickly. So if you're not up early enough that you really have time to sink in and have a good morning routine, what I would advise is think about getting up maybe 20 minutes earlier where you give yourself time to just be still and to be quiet and to be thoughtful about what it is you want to accomplish today and every day for that matter. Have a goal for your life, have a goal for your day, know where you're going so that you can be sure that you are putting your energy, your effort, your resources into the things that are going to get you there. You are in control of so much more than you realize, and it all begins with realization. It begins with becoming aware, getting aware of what the possibilities are, being aware of what it is you would like to accomplish, and then doing the things that will make that so. So it begins with awareness, clarity, clear. That's one of the C's in the 6 C's of transforming self-limiting beliefs. It's an online course that I've made available, and one of those C's early on is clarity, getting clear. So once you know what it is that you really want, if you know, just think about a trip. Once you know where it is that you would like to go, a lot of things start to make more sense to you. It's easier to figure out. You can figure out the most efficient route. Am I going to drive? Am I going to walk? Am I going to fly? How far is it? Is it something that I'm wanting to do alone, or do I need to bring somebody with me? It's a long trip, and I don't see that I can drive it all the whole way myself, or just prefer it'd be more fun if I had somebody in the car with me. What do I pack? Am I going to a tropical place? Or maybe I'm going to Colorado to go skiing, or maybe I'm taking an international trip. So I'm going to see some things I've never seen before. So I want to make sure that I've got good camera equipment. So now you're packing your bag differently. You're bringing in different tools. You have different things. You're preparing yourself for where it is that you're going. Being intentional allows you to do that. I just realized that I'm not live here. Give me just a second to go live on TikTok as well. All right, so welcome to the TikTok audience. I thought I had pushed the live button, but I had not. So I'm going to rewind for you guys for just a second. And what we're talking about on Wake Up Wednesday is being intentional. And when I say intentional, what I mean is that you are not just awake, but you're aware. That just came to me. Let that sink in for a minute. You're not just awake, but you are aware. Good morning, Maisha. And when you are aware, you have a different level of clarity about what it is you're doing. You can focus in more on how you're spending your resources. What are my resources? My resources are my time. Number one, because when I spend that, I can't get it back. I can make some more money. I can just go back to work and make some more money, but I can't make more time. So that's my most precious resource. Good morning, David. My time. And then another really important resource is my focus. What am I focused on? What am I putting my energy into? Am I seeing the problem, or am I seeing the possibilities? Am I seeing what I have, or am I getting bogged down and focused on what I don't have? Where I focus and how I focus my attention and my energy is gonna affect immediately how I feel, how I show up. If I'm in the solution mode, I'm starting to get into the flow and I'm making things happen. If all I can see is the problem, I'm probably frustrated and getting bogged down. If I see what I have, I'm grateful. I'm operating from a place of gratitude, and that's lifting me up. That's making me lighter. That's helping me to draw more of the things that I desire to me. If I'm only focused on what I don't have, I may be depressed. At the least, I'm not feeling very good. I'm frustrated. I'm focused on lack versus abundance. So, where I focus my time and my energy and my attention is key. And then all the other resources that you have, your funds, your network, what are you doing with those things? Are you spending your resources, all of them, not just the financial ones, but all of your resources? Are you spending those on the things that are going to allow you to create the life that you desire? Or today is a new day. For those of us in the US, it's early. It's only 7:25 where I am. So if you're in California, it's not even 5:30 in the morning. If you're on the East Coast, it's an hour later. So for all of us, it's not even 8:30 in the morning. So we've got the opportunity now to just slow down for a moment and think about the day and what it is we want to accomplish, what it is we would like to do with it. It's important because then as you move through your day, you're doing so with purpose. You're doing so with intentionality, and you're making good decisions. You're making good choices. You're taking the necessary steps to accomplish what's important to you in this 24 hours. And hopefully you've got those all tied together, all of your 24 hours tied together towards the larger goal, towards the life that you're trying to create. And if you do that, then every day you're taking strides and you're moving in the direction of creating the life that you desire. So that's what intentionality will do for you. That's why I talk about it at least once a week. And when you guys on TikTok were coming on, because I started the live late there. I was talking about preparing for a trip. The idea of someone surprising you with a trip and not telling you where you're going until you get to the airport. They've taken care of the plans. And all you have to do is get there. So that sounds nice and romantic. And man, I would appreciate it if somebody did that for me. Husband, are you listening? That's all great. But how do you prepare for that? You have to have someone who really knows you and knows what you need to do that well. You can't pack for that trip. You can pack some of the basics, but do I need a coat? Does it get a little chilly at night? So maybe I just need a sweater. Am I going somewhere tropical? So I need a bathing suit and a big hat to protect me from the sun or an umbrella. Where am I going? What types of things are we going to be doing? Are we walking on the beach? Are we climbing mountains? So I need a particular type of shoe. When you know your destination, then you are better prepared to get there. You make the decisions that are going to prepare you for where it is that you're going. So you can pack better. And just think about packing as bringing in the tools, the skills, the things that you need in order to create this life that you desire. Your life is the trip. Your life is the journey. But is it unfolding? Is it taking you where it is that you would like to go? Good morning, Alicia. If it is, then you're well packed, and all you have to do is be consistent. Keep doing the things that you are doing every day. Keep expanding in that space every day, and you'll see yourself moving towards that life. But if you're going to the beach and all you have are winter clothes, then you're going to be a little uncomfortable. You've got some adjustments to make. You're not prepared for your particular journey. So that's what intentionality will do for you. It will help you make the right decisions. It will help you pack for your journey. And remember, it's yours. Your life, your journey. We have so many inputs, so many things coming in all the time that tells us what our journey should look like. But it's actually yours. And if your journey is not aligning with your values, if your journey is not aligning with what is important to you, then it's not an enjoyable journey anyway. That's not the life that you want to live. Your journey is your life. So you want your life and how you live it to align with what's important to you, what your values are. That makes for a much more pleasant existence, a much better journey. And as you make the stops along the way, you're going to have the things that you need for each leg of the trip. So start by evaluating, where am I in my journey? Do I have a good roadmap so that I can get from where I am to where I'd like to be? If not, then you're early in your journey. There's no shame in that. That is just allowing you to assess and realize where you are and what you need to do to get to where you're going. I talk about that all the time, as you go to the mall and you're looking at the directory to find out how to get to the store of your choice, and it's not enough just to find on the map where the store is. You also have to find where you are. So you look for that star that says you are here, and you put those two pieces of data together, and now you're ready to plot a good trip. You can get from where you are to the store that you're looking for much easier if you know each pieces of data. If you're not familiar with where you are on that map, you're wandering around, you're trying to find something close to the store that you saw, and so it's a much more difficult trip. It takes longer to get from point A to point B. But if you'll do the assessment, the judge free assessment, we don't judge where we are on that when we're looking at that directory, right? So the same thing with your life. Just take a moment to really be honest and authentic with yourself and get clear about, here's where I'm trying to get. Got it. I've got clarity of my goal. Now I need to know where I am along that trip. Where am I today so that I can make the most efficient, most enjoyable trip from point A to point B? That's what being intentional will do for you. Get those two pieces of data clear for yourself. Create your plan. Create that roadmap to get there. And then guess what? It's implementation time. You have to put some energy into it. A roadmap is great. You know how to get where you're going. But until you get in the car or board the plane or get on the cruise ship, however it is that you're traveling, until you take the step to actually get in and you hear the engine and feel the movement, nothing is going to change. If you want something different, you have to be willing to do something different. So get in the vehicle, whatever it is, crank it up, and then start making your way towards the life that you desire. Intentionality will do that for you. It will give you that clarity. I wrote some notes. Give me a second to pull those up. Stephen, thank you. Stephen said common sense. Thank you. Let me pull up the notes about being intentional. There were a few things that I jotted down. I just kind of went off on a tangent and forgot all about my notes, and we could probably be finished in just a few minutes. But I will um, give you the key aspects of being intentional and how it can being intentional can improve your chances of success. The number one thing that I have here is what we just talked about. It's clarity of purpose. You know what it is that you're intending to do. You're clear about why you want to do it. And so now the decisions that you make, you can easily assess them before you take action. You can assess it against your purpose. Is it moving me towards my purpose? Is it supporting my purpose, or is it not? And you go in eyes wide open in every decision that you make. Sometimes life's going to throw you some curveballs, and you may have to make a decision that will hold you back. It will slow things down. Sometimes life happens, and but if you're clear about that and you realize that this is a temporary diversion, and I'm getting right back on track as soon as I take care of whatever just popped up, then you're clear. You're not nearly as frustrated, and you're still in control. You're still making decisions consciously and with intentionality, and you keep that end goal in mind. So clarity of purpose is huge. Goal setting is next, and we kind of talked about that too. You That requires the clarity, and then you want to break down your goals. Sonar just said, make your goals and the steps to get there small steps. Sonar just just nailed it. That's exactly what I was going to say. Breaking them down into small steps. We talked about this a lot yesterday. Small steps, we don't often recognize the value of them, but they add up. They add up and they begin to get you where it is that you're trying to go. Step by step, decision by decision, you're moving yourself towards your ultimate goals. That's what that awareness will do for you, and that's what being intentional will do. So, and when you're setting your goals, um, is let me see. Oh, Stephen is talking about being kind on money loans never works, and not letting people borrow money ever. You know, when you are in a situation where you're deciding to borrow or not, it's a very personal decision, but you've got to know going in that there's a possibility that you won't get it back. So I never really loaned something that I couldn't afford to lose, because I can't control truly what that other person is going to do. um, I'm not in the same place where Stephen is, where I never loan, but I go into it very, very aware and conscious of the possibilities, and I make the decision intentionally, and I really weigh it against what I've got going on and whether or not I'm gonna trip myself up, if I'm going to take away from what my family is trying to accomplish or not. So just like anything else, you need to go into it with your eyes wide open and make the right decision for you. On the goal setting, breaking down your purpose into actionable steps really goes back to what Sonar was saying. And I always talk about being sure that your goals are smart. So you guys have probably heard this many times, but for anyone who's talking to me about goals for the first time or listening to me about goals, when we talk about SMART goals, they're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. And I've got a goal setting workbook out there. You can shoot me a DM if you're interested in learning more about that, because it breaks down the whole goal setting process. It breaks down SMART goals and how you apply them, and it helps you to create and get the clarity you need on your goals. And then it gives you the space to actually write that roadmap out. So I've got that work already done for you. Um, it's available on Amazon as a printed book, and I also have for it's not very expensive, but for even a lesser expensive version, if you just wanted to download it, you could do that as well. So just reach out and I'll make that available to you guys if you're interested. But getting your goals created, and being really committed to what those goals are, and using those milestones. Sonar said breaking them down into little steps. Those little steps are the milestones along your journey. Every time you create or move past one of those milestones, that's a place to stop and notice and encouraging, and encourage yourself. Because when you do that, then you realize, you actually see the progress that you're making, and you are at that point, Stephen, to where you're not just talking about your goals, but you're actually doing them, you're implementing. Without the energy of actual and the actual doing, it's just words on paper. But when you start to tick those goals off, when you have broken them down to your daily activities and you're doing something on your plan every day, you'll see how quickly you start to accomplish the things you have set out for yourself. Um, Mindfulness and presence is another thing that being intentional can help you with. It requires you to be present and in the moment, and actually thinking about what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that's going on right now. You're not really focused on yesterday. You're not so future focused that you're missing the life that you're living, but you're present in this moment and responding to what's going on and creating what you would like to be going on right now. And that will feed into the tomorrow that you would like. And hopefully, it's informed by the experiences that you've had in the past, so that you've continued to evolve and you incorporate your lessons into your life, and you make better decisions, more informed decisions that way. It helps with the strategic planning. We've talked about that. It also helps, and we've already talked about this as well. It helps with prioritization and time management. If you know what it is that you're trying to accomplish, good morning, Meg. If you know what it is that you're trying to accomplish, then you will be more mindful of how you prioritize the activities in your day. There are some things that we do all the time and we do them out of habit. We do them out of routine. We do them out of comfort. And so all of us are so busy doing stuff. But it's important to step back every once in a while and actually look at the stuff that you're doing and determine whether or not it's the right stuff for the life that you're trying to create. Is it the right stuff for how you want to live your life? So I talk about being busy all the time, but it's not enough to be busy. You don't want to just be stuck in a place of busyness. You want to be productive. So we're all busy doing. But when you step back and you look at how you're spending your time, you start to be more conscious of those activities, and you can move from a place of busyness to a place of productivity. And when you're productive, you're not just doing things, but you're doing the right things at the right time to accomplish the things that you've got laid out for yourself to create that life that you would like to live. So, prioritization and time management is a big one. Visualization and affirmations. So, this one may be a little too woo woo for some of the folks on the call, but I really believe in visualization. And one place where it has come into play, um, that a lot of people can relate to is in athletics. My sister played Division 1 basketball, and she and her friend, when they were still in high school, stayed with, especially during the summer, spent a lot of time with me and my husband. And I can still see those girls to this day laying on the floor, laying on their backs, just talking, hanging out, being teenagers, talking about the things that girls talk about. And at the same time, they were pretending like they were shooting a basketball. They just visualized that ball going in, and they practiced that motion as if they were shooting. And they built that muscle memory. And when I tell you they were some of the most, and even now as they're in their 40s now, and they are still, I wouldn't want to mess with them on the basketball court. They're coaches and things like that, and they can give those young players a run for their money because they're so consistent in their effort. They're so consistent in how they planned and how they saw themselves being successful. And it can work in the other direction. The last thing you want to do is focus on what you don't want, because you end up creating that. Stephen says, I play every golf round like it's important. Absolutely. And when you get ready in golf, do you visualize your swing and visualize the ball going in? Tiger Wood did and does. And he was real clear about that. His mental game was what made him who he was when he came on the scene. His mental game was so strong, he was able to focus in and visualize success. Michael Jordan knew that he was going to be successful. He knew it here first, and then he did the things necessary to make that come true, and things aligned. The people who are most successful are visualizing and affirming the things that they see them, how they see their lives unfolding on a regular basis. And it's something that's free. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic situation. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your abilities. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You can visualize the life that you desire. And in visualizing that and starting to align your actions with those visualizations, you'll get there just that much faster. You will have the life that you desire if you start to get your mind together first. Doing that inner work is what will allow you to have the outer life that you desire. You have to believe that you're capable, and you have to believe that you're deserving. And then you have to be clear about what those things are. And then you have to be committed and do the work to get there. So visualization and affirmations are important. I think I've got a few affirmations for you at the end that you can, I will actually save them as comments. You guys can grab them and take them with you. Just my little Wednesday gift to everybody, because I really do. I have some affirmations on my mirror. So in the morning when I'm getting dressed, I see them and I recite them. And they're just important to help me set my intention for my day and how it is, and encourage myself. Being reflective is a part of that process too. And every once in a while you need to step back. We talked about that in the beginning. Before you join too far, get too busy into your day, step back and think about what you want that day to look like. Think about what it is that you want to accomplish, so that you are aligning your activities and your actions with what it is you're trying to accomplish. And if you can get into the practice of that on a daily basis, you'll accelerate your goal setting and accomplishing process. Good morning, Sonia. Sonia says, I love that. So be reflective. Every once in a while, just step outside of your normal routine and yourself and just get quiet with you and think about what it is that you really want to accomplish, and then do the work to make that happen. I'm not going to forget you, Stephen. Stephen said it. You can't just goal set. You have to do, and he's 100% right. But getting those goals in place first helps you to refine and be intentional about what it is that you do, so that you're working towards the plan that you have for yourself. Maisha says, I have a daily affirmation app on my phone and affirmations on my mirror too. Man, it created, when you do things like that, you create your environment. You get your energy focused on what's positive. You encourage yourself. You speak life over yourself. If we're not careful, we will find ourselves regularly cutting ourselves down and being negative about who we are and how we show up, and just the smallest things. And sometimes we are so hard on ourselves that we say nasty things internally without even, subconsciously about ourselves, things that we would never say out loud to somebody else. We say to ourselves about ourselves. So what you want to do is hear that, connect to that inner voice, understand what your inner messaging system is and what's playing. When you get on the elevator, you know that music's back there, but you really don't pay that much attention to it. You really don't, because it's quiet, it's soft, it's just kind of playing in the background. Our messaging system is like that, and it's been with us for so long that we cannot realize what it's actually saying. When the music is music that's getting in your way, it's time to change the channel, play something different, and you're in control of that. If you connect to that, hear that inner messaging, and when that negative stuff comes up, reframe it immediately, replace it with a positive, flip it on its head. If it's telling you not to try something because you're just not good at it, you flip it, and you tell yourself, this is something that I'm new at, so I may not be as good as the people who've been doing it for a long time, but I'm capable of learning it. I just don't have it yet. YET, that's one of my favorite words. When you attach that to something that you can't do, you've infused the hope right back into the conversation, because now you're saying it's not fixed. It's just not an absolute. It's something that I can't do. I don't know how to do it yet, but with practice, with effort, with training, with whatever it is that's required, I can learn it. That's a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And Maisha says, oh, and I listen to vibrations to eliminate negative thoughts and mental blockages. Okay, I was thinking about a sound bath the other day, and I found quite a while ago, there's a whole YouTube channel that has different sounds and vibrations that helps us to relax in and detox from the negative energy. I've run across a few people who are big proponents and practices that might Mo. I haven't done it myself a lot. Haven't gotten into it, so that's something for us to talk about. I'd love to hear from somebody that I really know what your experience has been with that. Okay, so we talked about a reflective practice. So um, let me run you guys through really quickly what the advantages of being intentional are, because we are about to wrap up. So it's clarity of purpose, goal setting, mindfulness and presence helps you to stay in the present moment, helps with strategic planning, certainly helps you with your prioritization and your time management. And then visualizations and affirmations are a tool that you can use to help create the life and be clear about the life that you'd like to accomplish. Um, Oh, one that I think I skipped was mindset and self belief. I didn't really skip it. It's kind of been woven in to everything that we've talked about, but just to call it out in its own space. Um, you know, I just talked about tackling that negative self talk. That's what I mean. Really tapping into that inner messaging and being let me see, how can you remove constant negative self-talk? That's a great question. So in removing constant negative self-talk, you have to decide that you're going to remove it. It starts with a choice. It starts with awareness and realizing that negative self-talk is there, and then making a decision. And when you decide that you're going to remove it, you have to hear it, and in that moment check yourself. In that moment, hear what you said. I knew I wouldn't be any good at that, or I'd never get anything right. And then you immediately replace that with the truth. Hold it against the evidence. If you say you never get anything right, how quickly can you think of a time when you did, when you got something right? We get things right, wrong, and in between all the time. Hello, Boss Twin. Thanks for joining. We get things right, wrong, or in between all the time. So Maisha is saying replace it with the opposite. Absolutely. Hold it up against your evidence too, so that you are not just replacing it, but you're actually showing yourself the falseness of those statements that you're making. I'm not lovable. I'm no good. Da 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 da. You flip that. Replace it with with the opposite, as Maisha is saying, and you also weigh it against the evidence. If you have a message that's telling you something negative, look for times in your life when it wasn't true, and I think you will find plenty of evidence that shows how false those statements are. But you have to be willing to do a little work. So replace it with the opposite, and then spend some time remembering, recalling, meditating on when the opposite was true. And that way you start to give yourself the evidence of the fact that you're just being negative against yourself, but you're not really making factual statements. And then you can start to see yourself and you start to recall the successes in your life. You start, and I'm not talking about huge a promotion at work or something like that. When I set out to do something and I actually do it, that's a success. When I'm in a situation where I'm really stressed or triggered and I respond to it in a way that honors who I am and I'm happy with how I showed up, that's a success. So you look for the places where you have been successful and you hold those up against whatever that negative statement is. And you get into the practice of doing that all the time. And before you know it, you will reframe how you talk about yourself, how you think and feel about yourself, and that positive will become the default. Every once in a while, when negative self-talk comes up, there may be something in it. Maybe you have found a place where you need to learn something more, learn how to do something better. Then that's all that is. That's not negative self talk. That's just finding a place where there's an opportunity. And so you have to see it for that. Oh, I may not know this today, but I can take this class. I may not know how to do this, but I know somebody who does that I can talk to and get some training from. I can Google it. I can There's so much information that's available to us that the things that we want to learn, we can learn a lot of them for free because the information is floating out there if we're willing to, back to what Stephen said, do something. If we're willing to take action. So as that negative self-talk comes up, stop it in its tracks and deal with it in real time. Replace it with the truth, the opposite of what it is, and then allow yourself to meditate on those times in your life and really start to see yourself differently. And if you are still struggling with that, you want to start to try and figure out where that negative self-talk is coming from. What is it in me that is making it so difficult for me to say positive things about myself. You actually need to dig in a little bit, start to peel that onion and look back at where that came from in the first place, because there may be a place where there's some trauma. There may be a place where you had some bad experiences and you've got to deal with those. You've got some internal healing to do. If that's the case, then you want to do that work as well. um, I am a life coach and mindset strategist, so you can slack not slack me. I'm not at work yet. You can DM me, and I will be more than happy to give you the link to this free course that I created. It's called transforming your inner critic into your inner advocate. That course can help you with just what you're talking about. It helps you, one, to connect with that inner voice and be aware of that messaging, and then it gives you some steps that you can take over and over and over again to reframe that messaging so that you have something that's more serving and motivating and keeping you moving forward, instead of you holding yourself back. That messaging that you're talking about, that negative self-talk, is standing between you and the life that you're trying to accomplish. So just drop me a message with your email address. You can either make it a comment, or if you don't want it to be public, you can DM me, and I will send you the link to my free. It's an online. It's a mini course, self-paced. Won't take you long to get through it, but it's just introducing you to some of the concepts that's in my larger course, and helping you to begin the practice of reframing that negative self-talk. It's transforming your inner critic into your inner advocate, because we want to be advocating for ourselves. Shanna says, I want it. I see you're on TikTok. So if you would please message me with your email address, I will shoot you the link just as quickly as I can. No problem. All right, and I know you guys are all watching from different places, different platforms. So wherever you are, however you're connected to me, drop your email address, and I will send that course over just as quickly as I can. Um, Shanna says, you are amazing and have changed my whole day. Thank you so much. I I get up early to do these because I truly believe, Shayna, that if we begin our day correctly, if we shift our mindset, if we are focused on gratitude and the beautiful things that have already happened in our life, and if we're intentional about what it is we want to do with the life that we have left, then we make good decisions, and it'll change your day. Wake up and be intentional. Don't just put one foot in front of the other and live your life on autopilot. Take the reins. Be connected to your higher power. For me, I'm Christian, so it's real clear. It's God, it's Jesus. That's who I'm rolling with all day, every day, because He's rolling with me before I was ever got here. And so some things are really, really clear for me personally. But whatever your belief system is, I'm not here to tell you how to believe. I hope that you get there, but how you live your life is your decision. And that's what we're doing all day, every day, is making decisions. And most of those decisions we make on autopilot. We don't even realize that we're making them. We're just kind of rolling through our life. And I'm saying, wake up. Wake up, turn the brain on, become conscious, become aware of the decisions that you're making, and hold those against the life that you say that you want to live. And if they're aligned, you're on target, you're getting it done. But if they don't, if you're saying one thing and you're doing another, you're out of alignment, and you just need to step back, wake up, and get some clarity in your life, and then get committed to the plan to have the life that you want to live, and start to work that plan. You have to work it. That's part of it. Planning is great, but without implementation, it's just words on paper. So that's it for today's, guys. I appreciate you so much. Angel, thanks for joining. I appreciate you all so much for spending this portion of your day with me. I hope, like Shayna, you have, or Shanna, I know I'm butchering your name and I apologize. But I hope you guys got something out of today. If nothing else, just pause, push pause for a moment, give yourself a minute to think. and to process about your day. What is it that I would like to accomplish with this day? I won't have this day again. I won't have the opportunity of this day ever again. When it's gone, it's gone. What do I want to do with it? Be intentional. Really think about that. And then get busy doing the things that will bring that into reality. You have much more control than you realize. I'm just asking you to wake up and take that control and make good decisions, take the steps necessary to create the life that you so desire. You deserve it and you're capable. We are capable beings. We do hard things all the time, but we never focus on those hard things that we've accomplished. We spend most of our time focused on the things that didn't work out and using those things as the reason why we can't have the life that we desire. Those things become definitive for us and they define who we are. And what I'm saying is, what about all the things that you did do right? Why just throw those over the fence and forget about them? Those things are evidence that you're able to do the things that you like to do. So it's where you're choosing to focus. So I'm asking you to be intentional about your focus or what you focus on. Be intentional about the decisions that you make. Be intentional about the steps that you make and make sure that they all align with the life that you are trying to create. If you do that for you, the other things will fall into place and you will see yourself consistently progressing towards that life. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, Someone says, start talking positive. Yes, start talking positive. Speak life over yourself. Encourage yourself. And so take that with you for the rest of the day. When those negative messages pop up, just reframe them. Say the opposite back to them and look for the evidence of the opposite and get in the practice of controlling your thoughts versus being controlled by your thoughts. You can do that. So, you guys have a wonderful Wake Up Wednesday. We will be back here tomorrow, which is Thursday at 7:15 Central, and we talk about my favorite topic. On Thursdays, it's Thankful Thursday. We talk about gratitude. So you guys start to think about throughout your day what you're grateful for. When you come back tomorrow, be prepared to drop some gratitude in the comments, because as you're doing that, you are shifting again your focus. You're being intentional about what you're focused on, and it will make your day better. Angel, you have a great day as well. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. Don't forget to DM me if you're interested in any of the resources, and I will get them over there to you. Thanks, guys. Bye.